What's going on, Bear Cave? It is Qbeezy here with my first Titan build of Season of Arrivals. It is not utilizing the Wormgod Caress. We're actually using another star for the show. That is the Synthoceps. Yes, that is right. Synthoceps are back-ish. Back-ish, but nowhere near as strong as Wormgod Caress times 5. It is definitely it is definitely not as long as this, but it is a lot easier to pull off large amounts of damage on yellow bars super quickly utilizing Synthoceps. Besides actually giving you extra range, you get improved melee and super damage when you're surrounded, which is cool because you can just be next to somebody and you actually activate biotic enhancements. When it says surrounded, it doesn't actually mean by like a lot of enemies. You can get away with just one enemy being around. I think it's like a threat kind of thing, like the danger Will Robinson kind of stuff. But you can just be around the boss and get biotic enhancements perk running and you'll be basically fine. But to start off with this build, I'm running Middle Tree Sunbreaker, Coda the Devastator, running fusion grenades, strafe lift, of course. You know, gotta get the Titan Wall too. Don't do Rally Barricade, it's so useless. And we're taking advantage of a Throwing Hammer and Roaring Flames. You already know about this. We've been so long into Destiny, you can read it too. So to continue on with this, we're running Monte Carlo for when we actually miss our hammers, which we miss quite a bit because, you know, aim and stutters, but I'm going to blame the stutters and not my bad aim. So occasionally, you know, whenever you miss one, you can use Markov chain to help you get back that melee a lot quicker. I feel like this might have got slightly nerfed as opposed to in Season of Undying, but it still works out nonetheless. Continuing on to the energy weapon, running Last Man Standing. Picked this up last week doing Reckoning tier 2. Just happened to drop 1-2 punch, and I was like, cool, this is actually going to go in my build. I don't feel like finding another shotgun. And then continuing on with the heavy, not that important is whatsoever. Continuing on to the actual armor pieces that help make this build possible, where I would actually prefer to run Synthoceps over Wormgod Caress. On the helmet, we are running minor resist just to make sure we have a little bit of survivability there. Special ammo finder for the shotgun. And then normally I run charged up right here. I'm just going to have to put it on range now instead of just keeping that Wrath of Rasputin. Run charged up gives you an additional stack of charge with light, so essentially it takes it up to 4. Also, if you wanted to, if you're interested, you don't actually need a 7th Seraph weapon to spawn a Warmind cell. You can actually spawn a Warmind cell with splash damage from your fusion grenade or whatever grenade that actually has splash damage. So you learned something new today. Continuing on to the Synthoceps, I don't have anything invested in it because I was just doing testing prior to this, but actually felt good enough to send this build out. Biotic enhancements, we went over that earlier. In terms of mods, you throw something, a resist mod, depending on the type of content you're in, boss resist mod, whatever. If you're actually having trouble staying alive, I suggest a boss resist mod. And then if you're looking for something to help you get your grenade back or your melee back or whatever, enhanced momentum transfer is what's up. I'm running solar. I mean, you can also run impact induction as well too. Causing damage with a grenade greatly reduces your melee cooldown. You can run that ×2 or whatever floats your boat. I mean, Monte Carlo really helps a lot in getting your melee back in case you whiff a shot. But if you wanted to run something else besides Monte Carlo, you could take advantage of that using those slots right there. And continuing on to the chest, running heavy-handed. We're only in it for this getting half of your melee energy back when you use a charged melee ability, which is actually pretty nice. And of course, if you get charged up enough where you get like 4 or 5 stacks of it, basically every time you throw your hammer, you get half back. You miss, you just shoot people with Monte Carlo for a little bit, you get it back. It's so nice, especially, you know, sometimes you hit them, you get multiple hits and it just falls off the side of the platform. Real sad boy moments. However, when you actually take advantage of heavy-handed, it's nice. Also, an important thing too, if you're running in difficult content such as Grandmaster Nightfalls or Master Nightfalls or anything above their legend, whatever you're running, if you actually want to be able to get charged with like quicker and not have to worry about running and chasing, getting double kills with orbs or whatever, it's going to take a long time to kill champions if your team's really not that good. And every time you stagger them, if you actually run counter charge, you'll be able to come charged with light to the maximum amount of light that you can actually have, whether that 3, 4, 5 or 2, whatever. Utilizing this mod will actually do that. So I don't have it done here, but if you wanted to deeply invest in this build or potential future builds on Arc, Just make sure you masterwork this. Take this pulse reserves or whatever arc mod you have slotted in there to get that surrounded ability from heavy-handed, and then whenever your teammates pop off and then they stagger a champion or you stagger a champion, you become max charge with light. Continuing on to the legs, just running double scav here and taking charge. Nothing special here. There's really nothing usually special with the legs, so I mean, it's kind of is what it is. And then the second star of the show is Solar Plexus. Increases damage from all solar melee abilities. We don't care about the finisher. The finisher does help in heavier content, harder content, but at least for what we're going for right now, it gets the job done. So just going into that, and I just want to let you guys know why I ended up picking up Synthoceps. Wormhusk does have the greatest damage potential, but it's way more difficult to pop out. You got to get the perfect timing. You got to get the ×5 on the Death's Grip, and then you got to get the ×3 on Roaring Flames. You got to make sure you have your melee. You got to make sure you're within your range. Pop off your 1-2 punch, and then actually throw your hammer. It's a lot more variables and potential signs of error with that. Well, where with Synthoceps, basically you only got to do is have Roaring Flame ×3, which isn't that hard with a lot of minor ads around. Then you just pop off your 1-2 punch, and then you get the shot in. It's a lot easier to pull off, and I really do enjoy it more running Synthoceps, besides the occasional like, oh wow, Synthoceps reach out this far? That's crazy. Also, I just feel that Synthoceps is more, it's just more consistent to use in terms of getting your stack and your buff and your damage up. I just feel it's just more consistent. Now, the Wormhusk does have around 4 times more destructive capability DPS wise than Synthoceps, but I feel like in the time that you spend setting up a Wormgod Caress Strike, you could have already got 3 or 4 in on using Synthoceps. That's the way I just feel with it. The timing on Synthoceps just feels more natural to me, while Wormgod, I feel like I actually have to go out of the way to get it done for a specific instance and make sure it all lines up perfectly. And Synthoceps, I just feel like they have a greater sustainability to DPS, just in terms of you're not limited by time with bionic enhancements. Obviously you're limited with time and Roaring Flame, but if there's any other ads around, you can pop one off. Make sure you keep it ×3, because either way, to get the massive damage potential, you're going to have to do it ×3. The major setting factor for me is the fact that when you use Synthoceps, you don't have to get those 5 melee kills like you do with Wormgod's Caress to be able to pull it off. So if you're looking to just impress some people with some really crazy stuff, I say go with Wormgod. But if you want to be consistent overall, go ahead and get you some Synthoceps. So guys, let me know what you think down below. First Titan build of the season. Also note, I am looking into different series and different games as well, so don't be surprised if you see me playing a different game and uploading it to the channel. I've really been missing a little bit of GTA, and if I can get my computer squared away, my second computer squared away, I'm gonna try to get more content out for different games. So guys, thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. You know, the typical YouTuber stuff. Catch you guys later. Peace.